Hey, welcome back to Unconventional Itinerary. There are so many amazing videos that are floating around just about every day, every week. They're being uploaded to YouTube about the cost of living here in Merida, Mexico, and what $500 can get you, $800 can get you, just any amount can get you here since it's so cheap here to live. But what I've noticed is that I have not seen any videos that actually go over things that you really need to look for before renting here in Merida, Mexico, or Mexico in general. Hey y'all, so if this is your first time here, my name is Heather and welcome to Unconventional Itinerary. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our videos while we're traveling and living abroad. So I have been here in Merida, Mexico for a month with my daughter, and unfortunately we had to go through the process of looking for places again. If you looked at my other videos, you can tell that my background is a little bit different. I will be doing a tour of the home. I'll do a video of that maybe next week. We're still actually unpacking, but things that I wish I knew prior to renting the first place could have actually saved me like a little heartache and some cash that I lost. But I wanted to share the information with you, so hopefully this does help you out. So here are the 6 things you need to know before renting a place in Mexico. Number 1 is the location. What type of neighborhood do you want to live in? Do you want a family neighborhood where your kids can go outside with the local kids and play and just have fun? Or do you want something that's a little bit more quieter, where it's not a lot of kids, but you still have access to parks and shopping and everything? Another thing to think about is walkable distance. Do you want something that is close to the market, close to walking to the mall, anything like that? It's really important to know this because there are some places here within the Periférico, which is the highway that surrounds the city, where some neighborhoods you have everything in walkable distance, like Centro. There's other places like Montes de Ame, which it is walkable distance, but not as close as walkable distance compared to Centro. So these are some things that you should think about. Having a car here is not impossible. However, you won't be able to bring your car or have a car here if you're on a temporary tourist visa. Another great resource, if you really want to get to know the neighborhoods, it's by Native Nomad. I will link their website in the description. They actually have an interactive map where people that actually live in the different neighborhoods have gone in and they've written, hey, I like this about this neighborhood. They have a noise level. There's like all different sorts of things you can look at so you can determine, you know, if this neighborhood is best for me. And also another great thing to do is take a taxi to a neighborhood that you want to, or even just any spot, and get dropped off, get your lunch, and then walk around that neighborhood. That's the best way you're gonna find the location that you may or may not like. The second thing you need to know is your budget. Now, some people come here and they're on a budget of $200 US. You know, some people are on a budget, you know, of $600 US. Some people don't have a budget. But knowing your budget is really, really important, because when you're dealing with realtors, you want to say, hey, this is my budget. Be very stern with them, because sometimes they'll show you stuff way outside of your budget. So if you have a budget of $500 US and state that, there are nice places that you can rent for $500 US. There are nice places you can rent for $200 US, and there are nice places that you can rent for $800 US. It really just depends on your preference and your budget. Some people are content with just the bare minimum. They don't need anything. They're just minimalist, and that's okay. And then you have other people that want nicer things. They want something that's not necessarily an eyesore. So it's really up to you, but definitely know your budget before coming here. Now, number 3 is very, very, very important. I had declined several homes because of internet issues. Now, We live in a world today where the internet is essential. We work from home, our kids are getting homeschooled with the distant learning. We watch YouTube videos, we're streaming, we're playing games. So if you do this on your daily life, then you need to ask about the internet. Important things to ask are, is it fiber optic or fiber optica is what they call it down here, which is the fastest internet source that you can get. I remember when I was in Playa del Carmen, which is a different region, the Quantaru region, I had dial-up or DSL internet, and it was so slow. Just to upload a YouTube video took me a day, 2 days sometime, and it wasn't even that long. So here, it's actually a hit or miss. A lot of people say to live inside the periférico because the internet is the fastest. Some people said they've had good internet outside the periférico, which is where I'm at right now. I have no complaints. However, there was a place I was looking at that was further outside the periférico, like further out towards another city, and the internet was not fiber optica. They had like a hotspot, and then the other option was a satellite dish. I don't recommend those. I've heard not good things about having satellite internet because it's a hit or miss. One person had reached out to me and said they had to rent an Airbnb every week because they worked from home and the internet was completely horrible. If you do find a place that does have the internet already installed and the router is in there, do a test yourself. Do not rely on the realtor to show you a screenshot or to run the test on your phone. Pull out your laptop, pull out your tablet, pull out your phone, whatever you're going to be using the most, and do a speed test. That is really important. What also is important is to definitely specify that you do not want to share your internet with anyone else on your block. Sometimes there is a community of maybe like 6 townhomes or 6 apartments, and they all share the same internet, which means at nighttime, you're gonna have slow internet. It's gonna get slowed down. You might get kicked off a few times. During the daytime, it's probably the fastest because everyone is at work. Specifying that will definitely save you a headache later on down the road, because sometimes if your landlord is nice, they'll say, okay, I will, put it in my name, put a single package. Sometimes they may not. So these are things that you really should be asking. Another thing with the internet, if you do rent a place, if it does not come with internet, ask the landlord to see if he will put it in his name. The reason why is because many other places such as Telmex, Total Play, I think Movie Star might be another one, they require you to be a resident here in order to get anything in your name. Izzy is the only one that will allow you to get internet on a tourist visa. So if internet is important to you, definitely ask these questions. Check the speed, ask if it's a shared network. Even if you see 2 connections and you know there's like 6 or 7 apartments, ask. That's a red flag right there. Now, as far as speed goes, you can always upgrade your speed. There's always different packages. They don't cost that much. I think the most is probably $25 US, I believe I saw. I think it was like $499 pesos. So it's definitely affordable, not like the States. I was paying $100 solely just on internet back in Florida. Number 4, ask about utilities, because sometimes utilities are included. Sometimes water is included in your rent. Sometimes garbage is included in your rent. Sometimes internet is sometimes included in your rent, which is really amazing. Most of the time, unless you're renting from Airbnb, you will be paying your electric bill. What's really important about the electric bill is to ask to see the previous month's bill or any bill from that location that you're renting from. So a bill will look like this. It's CFE, which is the electric company down here, and it will tell you what the kilowatt was for the month and how much it is. For this past month, you usually pay the electric bill once every 2 months. So this was 46 pesos. 46 pesos is the equivalent to $2.26. Now, because this place is brand new, they probably were not using the electricity like we're using right now. So I'm pretty sure it would definitely be over 46 pesos. Most of the time I've been quoted that it is about 1,200 pesos every 2 months, which is about 60 bucks. So definitely ask to see it. Just a quick story right here. The first place I actually looked at when we got here, it was a nice little spot, 10,000 pesos to rent, which is about 500 US dollars. But I noticed that they had solar paneling on top of the garage. So I asked the landlord, what's up with the solar paneling? You know, she said, well, because electricity is high, the renters install solar paneling to cut down on their bills. So that right there is a red flag for me. Like, do not rent a place that, you know, the electricity bill is going to be outrageous. Number 5, mold is an issue down here in the Yucatan. Maybe in other places in Mexico, I don't remember, in the Quintana region, on the Mayan Riviera, if that was an issue. But I remember going to look at a home and there was mold like growing up like the sides of the furniture. There was mold in the refrigerator, like the little slots that like keeps the it's the slots that keep the refrigerator from having a gap, you know. There's just mold in the cabinets, and what happens is because of the humidity and just, I guess, the nature itself of it, it does create mold. So you definitely need to check to see if there's mold in the cabinets, mold like underneath the AC unit. Just check for mold anywhere that you would think mold could possibly grow. Around window sills is another thing. A lot of times I've seen mold like on the walls itself. It's like seeping through. So if you do find a place that has mold, I don't recommend renting that place unless you're okay with like cleaning it with bleach and just taking that risk. Also along with this one is check the plumbing. Flush all the toilets multiple times, see if they refill. Also turn the water on in the sinks. A lot of these sinks are made of some type of stone, and if they're older, sometimes they have cracks in them. That's one of the things that happened to me at the previous place we were renting, had a crack in it. So turn it on, see if it leaks. Also check the water pressure. The water pressure, if you like to take nice showers with a good water pressure, check to see it, because sometimes depending on the neighborhood that you are renting, the water pressure is not that good. And then there's other places that have amazing water pressure. After you finish checking the water pressure, check the ACs. Turn the ACs on, let them run for a few minutes to see if there's any issues, if there's air blowing out, if it's cool air blowing out. These are really important because it does get hot here. We're only in February and it's hot already. Although I use the fan at night, I like to have the AC on just to cool down a bit, and then my fan runs. And nothing is worse than feeling overheated while you're trying to sleep and you cannot cool down. Number 6 is the last tip I'm going to give, and this is another important thing also. Here in Merida, I feel like the people are amazing here. They're great people. They're always trying to accommodate for the most part. But get to know your landlord. If you are going to be renting from this person and they're there, you know, try to get a feel of them. Like if they feel very standoffish, or if they are like really friendly, then you can like kind of get a vibe what type of landlord they're going to be in case something goes wrong. Also, another important thing is a lot of people negotiate down here. So suppose you find a place that is 1,500 pesos and you say, you know what, I want to see if I can get it down as much as I can. So maybe you will offer 1,300 pesos and the owner will come back and say, hey, you know what, I can give it to you for 13.5 pesos, 1,000 pesos, and I'll throw in A, B, C, and D. So you can negotiate. Sometimes some of these places don't come with a TV or a washing machine. You can always ask, hey, do you mind? Can you do this? And 9 times out of 10, they're either going to say yes, or they're going to accommodate you the best way possible. And lastly, this is my bonus tip, and just be prepared to pay a double deposit plus first month's rent if you do not have a guarantor. A guarantor is pretty much someone, it's kind of like a cosigner, and they're saying, okay, yes, if anything goes wrong, I would be held reliable. This person is usually a local. So if you do not have a guarantor, I know Merida Moves is a relocation service and they do guarantors if you are one of their clients. But if not, be prepared to pay the double deposit. Sometimes you can find places that don't require it. You can ask. I've seen it where some landlords are going to say, hey, you know, we can break down your double deposit where you can pay half when you move in and the rest of the half will be the next month. Also, there are lawyer fees for the notary. I've seen them as high as, you know, if the rent was $13,000, I've seen them as high as $13,000. The cheapest I've ever seen them is 1,000 pesos. It just really depends on the person and what notary they're getting and what their price is. So I hope that this helps someone out there. And I really hope that if you are moving to Merida or thinking about moving to Merida or in the Yucatan area, these are definitely vital tips that will help you. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comment section. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. If not, I can point you in the right direction. Thank you for your time, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.